Hello, I've got for you today the latest release from Montblanc. This is their 2025 Masters of Art pen dedicated to Pierre Auguste Renoir, a wonderful Impressionist painter from France from the 19th century, most well known for this particular painting, the boathouse painting. So this is their 4,810 limited edition. They also have a, well, 888, and then a few other high artistry editions. So in the box you've got, as usual, a little booklet that contains details of the pen and its inspiration. So they also make cufflinks under this collection. I've never seen that displayed before in a book like this. And then, of course, his history, father of Impressionism, and then, of course, the symbolism, and then service guide, lengthy service guide. Beautiful, as usual, these boxes are wood with very nice veneer, beautiful presentation case. Nothing else other than the box padding. And then here we go. Wonderful pen. This pen obviously is designed to pull a lot from the act of painting. I'm not too sure how much of the symbolism actually comes from his work. So if the previous Patron of Art editions, oh sorry, Masters of Art edition, ooh, that's raw wood, very nice. The other Masters of Art editions, the subject very much pulled from the works. So when they did Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night featured prominently in what they pulled from, and same thing for Gustav Klimt last year, where they pulled a lot from the Palace Athena, I think, if my memory serves me right. But this time, there's not much from his works featured on the pen. We'll get into the details in a minute. But yeah, very much designed to resemble a pencil. Even this part of the cone is designed to be functional. So that's a silver tip at the end of the cone there. They even have to make the assay mark that could be used to draw on paper, of course. So because he was rather fond of sketching, I think they include that element there. I'm not sure if anybody's going to actually use that. I guess they got the idea from those infinite pencils that are starting to make the rounds. So moving along the pen cap and barrel are both made, obviously, of olive wood. I'm not too sure if it's a continuous piece. That'd be really neat if these could be traced back to one continuous piece of wood, but it's not. It looks like it's separate. The grain doesn't follow along. Olive wood was chosen because he was very much a fan of olive trees, and they featured apparently quite frequently in his paintings. It's, of course, a nice wood to work with. So, other than the olive wood, the barrel is notable because it's been vandalized, I'd say. Basically, it's been adorned, as they would say, with improvised paint. I think 5 or 6 different colors to mimic what you might see on an artist's paintbrush handle. I don't know if it's a success. I think I would have preferred a bit more thoughtful approach to evoking the types of pastoral colors he enjoyed using, and not simply painting on various elements. I'm pretty sure these are not, they're not patterns, they're applied by hand, improvised, I think. Is that right? Let's compare, actually. So this is, I would say, very close to what they've got here. So somebody tried to apply those two black lines or dark lines with some green and then blue, almost not quite identical, so it's not a print or anything like that. It is applied by hand, by a real paintbrush, but they were definitely trying to follow a pattern so that there was some uniformity amongst I guess the actual models and the prototype or design. So that's an interesting thing to find out. Now, going along, the pen, of course, designed to be a pencil. I'm not too sure what they try to evoke here in the cap band. If we uncap it, we might be able to see that a bit more clearly. Knurling from some sort of instrument, some sort of tool, I should say. Of course, the clip, that's pretty obvious, is meant to resemble paintbrushes. Two paintbrushes, one thick one for obviously larger area and one small one for detailed work. I think I saw that in the booklet. And then along the finial band here, you've got the year 1874, the year most commonly attributed to the start of the Impressionist period, I think, and nothing else, limited edition number as well, and then Montblanc. So I think, other than the nib, we'll get to that in a minute, but other than the nib, the color of the finial here, this ultramarine, is what they took from his work and his observation of how shade is not simply black and white. So it might seem strange to think that in the past there was a tendency to paint shade as black or shade as black, whereas here they've tried to say that shade is more subtle. It's not simply the absence of light, it can also be colorful. So that's in the booklet. That's the inspiration for this ultramarine. I find it hard to attribute that to a particular school of art, but yeah, they lean, I think, a bit too much into that particular element. So the cap has plastic thread, and of course bears on the metal section. Beautiful. It feels rather solid. I love the weight of this. Once again, this seems actually a bit small for a typical Montblanc cap. I don't have an example to compare it to, but I believe they have continued the intention of proportioning the pens to the golden ratio. Wow, that feels very nice. That's quite an odd sensation to rotate the cone in your palm like that. Quite nice. So moving on to the nib, let's see if we can get something to show you here. Apparently Renoir started his career painting other people's works, so he'd go to the Louvre and look at existing artwork and would paint them onto fans. So fans were in fashion during the era, and it was quite common for people to request that certain motifs be painted on a fan so that in the salons they would be more fashionable. So that's the inspiration for the nib. I don't know if you can actually make anything out on the nib other than the fact that it is a fan. The subject depicted on it, I think, is impossible to decipher. But there you go. The justification for why there's a fan on the nib. So as usual, these, very much like the Patron of Arts, are piston fillers. Beautifully smooth mechanism. I never appreciated how smooth these mechanisms were until I started diversifying my pen collection. But yeah, this is effortless. So there we go. Is there any film on the section? I suspect there is. I don't see it. Oh yeah, there is. There. Otherwise, it's quite a high polish on the section. Wonderful for fingerprints. I don't know how well that's going to last, as usual. Otherwise, the brushed finish they have elsewhere is a good choice for avoiding fingerprints. Already you can see my fingerprints on the high gloss of the paintbrush handles, but matte for the brush bristles is a great idea. So there you go. The 2025 release under the Masters of Art series. A wonderful tribute to Renoir, Pierre Auguste Renoir, but maybe a bit weak on the actual imagery they're pulling from. I don't know if you'd be able to say, oh yes, this is a pen dedicated to Renoir simply by looking at it, the way that you would by looking at Van Gogh's pen. Yeah. So maybe a bit to improve on there. The pens they have in the High Artistry collection definitely pull on his actual work, so his actual motifs. But this one and the 888, the 888 is a porcelain one, which references his previous work also as a budding artist to paint motifs on porcelain items, also to decorate and embellish them. Well, there you go. That's the extent of my review. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've got questions or comments.